This is a show about facing fear, unlocking courage, and taking action.
Courage isn't necessarily a daunting thing.
It's going to give you more purpose. It's going to give you more drive.
It feels like making a courageous decision is going to get you closer to who you aspire to be.
It's knowledge plus faith plus action equals courage.
I say things that will put my job on the line. I say things that put my family in harm's way. You know, there's fucking crazy people on social media, right? Especially now in the times that we're in right now. To do incredible work, you also have to be fearless, right? And fearless means you have to do a multitude of things to get the job done.
Welcome, Courageous fam. We are back with another edition of the Courageous Podcast, and I've been looking forward to this convo. We've been trying to get it on the books, and some shit's happened in your life, man, which I'm really excited to hear more about, and sort of sad that we haven't had a chance to chat. But here's sort of where we're going today. One, there's a long overdue new kind of conference that's coming, which I love, and I can't wait to talk about it. Today, folks, I think we're talking about playing big and having sort of this BHAG for you, but also, and I'm curious to get my guest take on this, also focusing in on the small stuff, it's the big stuff, but the small stuff, on what really matters. And I know my guest knows I'm talking about, 3 months ago, my guest's wife saved his life, which I think forever changed the framing of Walter Geer. Is this an accurate statement here?
This is true, my man. Yes.
I mean, Walt, you play big, and you also, I'm sure this made you play small, or at least prioritize what mattered most. Walk me through, first of all, you good now? Are you good?
I'm way good. Yeah, I'm way good. Thank you for asking, man. And by the way, this is round 2 of us getting to do this. But my God, it's been too long. I think the first time was like 4 years ago, something like that. It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Every once in a while, I'll look. First of all, what I love most about the show is this. I describe it sometimes as getting to go to dinner with people you want to go to dinner with, except there's no bill at the end, which is nice. But we're now 175 episodes in, and I think you're on one hand the people who I've come on back, and it's not personal about other guests. You always have interesting shit going on, and
oh, good, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
So where do you want to start?
We can start there. I mean, where you left off. I think it's oftentimes I think that we take life for granted, right? And I think we take the people in our lives for granted in the moment that we're in. And it's not until we are introduced with these kind of life or death experiences that really make you kind of sit back and think about your approach to life, right? I say this all the time. We are a dot on a spectrum, on a line that is potentially infinite for all we know, right? And we're just like a speck, right? 100 years, if we're lucky, means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. So we need to really kind of, reimagine sometimes, what do you want? What's the story you want told about you when you're gone, right? And for me, I think it is leaving a slew of fucking positivity behind me, changing people's lives, making an impact on people that allows individuals to feel as though they've been left in a better place, right? And the majority of that, or my biggest reason is, and I've said it all the time, is my daughter, right? And so if I can create opportunity for someone else, that will have a trickle down effect for her. So that's kind of where I'm at, man. But I mean, for most who would know, yes, I had a stroke, and it was April 12th. I always say April 11th because that was the night it actually triggered, and I was in the hospital that later that evening. But yeah, I mean, long story really short, man, I had an event, work event, had a couple drinks, nothing much, came home, said goodnight to my wife around 10:30, came down here. Actually, I was doing voiceover work here for some case studies for Can, for another person to kind of take and edit. And so speaking totally fine, went to sleep, and about an hour later woke up, man, and I just felt like I couldn't breathe. I had this weird, damn, I was telling myself how to breathe, inhale, exhale. And it was and I was yo, this is crazy. This is weird. Something is not right. And so I kind of laid for a bit, and then started to fall asleep, but then it happened again. And I was like, dude, I literally thought like, if I go to sleep, I'm going to fucking die in my sleep. So, I went to the bathroom, man, and blew my nose. I was like congested. So maybe I thought it was like just my congestion, my nose. I couldn't breathe because of that. I took a Claritin, sat down for like 5-10 minutes, man, and decided like, let me just read some emails and just collect myself. And as I started to read or tried to read my emails on my phone, man, like I couldn't get past the first word. Like my brain wouldn't allow my eyes to scan to the second, third, fourth word in the sentence. So I kept putting my phone down and picking it up, like, what the fuck is going on? And at that point, I was like, all right, something weird is up. I don't know if I want to wake up my wife, but let me just tell her just in case. And yeah, I went to tap her back, and she kind of was a little startled. She's like, hey, because I was like standing directly over top of her. And I was completely like coherent, man. When I'm telling you, like 1,000% coherent, aware of everything that was going on at this moment. And when I went to speak, like mumbling came out. It was like, like that. And then it was like at that point, it was a bit of a out of body experience because I was like, wait, like what the fuck just came out of my mouth? And then I tried to speak again, and like I just kind of went into this state of like massive confusion. Like, wait, what the fuck is going on? How come I can't speak? And it was like when I'm telling you, it was like this out of body experience. It was out of body experience, man. I felt like I was looking down at myself. And at that time, my wife grabbed me, set me down, and immediately was like, "Oh my God, I think you're having a stroke. Call 911." And that was that, man.
I mean, did she just know you were having a stroke because the words weren't coming? Like, how did she know you're having a stroke?
I've asked her like that 4 or 5 times, like, how did you? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, I don't even know. I just automatically it just went there. Like I knew you were having one. And I was like, but how? She's like, just like, I don't know. I can't even explain. That's what I thought. And so when she was able to call 911, they were able to get the jump on it. And when people got here, they're treating me as if it was the case.
Wow, man. At this point, I mean, are you coherent of being treated, and how long did it take before they showed up? What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it might have taken like 15 or so, 10, 15 minutes before they got there. But in that time, man, like, like she's like scrambling to get my daughter dressed and she's getting me stuff. And like, I tell people all the time, there's nothing like I've broken both of my legs and thought, oh my God, it's a horrible experience to not be able to walk, right? Like completely you lose your self-dependence, but your self-dependence, excuse me, your independence, excuse me. But lack of speech, man. And I was like, I kind of like inscribed like this, like, hey, get me a pen and a paper. And she grabbed my daughter's book, and I was trying to write what I felt and what I was going through, but like the letters wouldn't connect. Like I was writing and it was looking like gibberish, and I'm looking down like, what the fuck? Like I was like, this is fucking crazy. Like I can't communicate at all. And then by the time I could write 2 words, the one first word I wrote was scared. And she was like, totally like my rock man. She was like, you're gonna be okay. She grabbed my shoulder. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be good. Don't worry. Help is coming. And then I wrote daddy. And I never write daddy, but I wrote daddy, and I circled it like 50 times because in that moment, like I swear to God, like, oh shit, like I think I am having a stroke. What the fuck happens if I fucking die? So like in my mind, I was like, I might die right now. And like again, like not being able to communicate that or say that was just fucking crazy. So yeah, like 15 or so minutes they got there, got me to the hospital, man, and went through all these tests. And the crazy thing was they're like, all right, you had a stroke, see the signs in your brain, on the left side of your brain. For some reason, they're like, there's no indication for you having this stroke across the rest of your body. There's no clots, your cholesterol level's fine, your blood pressure's fine, like you're 1,000% fine. So we're calling this a cryptogenic stroke, which essentially means there's no cause for it. It shouldn't have happened. And so then they were like, so here's the deal, based on everything you guys told us. And at this time I was maybe saying like 2 words at a time, maybe 3 words, but it would take me a good minute to concentrate on every syllable, every letter, and slowly pronounce it and roll it off my tongue. They were like, based on everything you explained, we think you're in the window to take this drug that's FDA approved last year. It's basically like a clock buster. It's called TPA. And it's literally like, it's like Drano, right? Like Drano, right? When it goes in your system, it like clears your whole fucking body out. If there's anything anywhere, it'll clear it all out. We think you have about 10 minutes left to take that based on where we think we're at.
Gosh.
Right. And just want to let you know, there is a 7% chance that you could die taking this because it can kill 7% of people to take it. And so now, like, my wife is like debating back and forth what to do and asking questions, and she's getting frustrated because, they're not like in these, like a doctor can say, you have a headache, take Tylenol here, take 600 milligrams every 4 or 5 hours. When it comes to life or death, doctors can't tell you that because now you could sue them. You said take this, he died, now I could sue you. So they're not saying yes or no, but they're just like, hey, well, this could happen or this could happen. And she's literally like, his job is to fucking speak. So like,
Totally.
right. What are the pros and cons? The cons are basically if he doesn't take the medication, he could have this speech impediment for the next year or two and have to work with therapy to get his speech back. And so you gotta tell you, man, that like we had a neurologist who was on like a monitor because it was like 2 a.m, right? So they don't keep neurologists there in the ER rooms all night. So they're on a monitor, like zoomed in from their kitchen or some shit. And this woman was like 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, literally giving me a fucking countdown. Everyone's arguing and you're here in the background. When we got down to 4, I believe it was around 4, I was just like, I just yelled, I'll take. They're like, you want to take it? My wife's like, are you sure? I was like, yes. And she's like, all right. And boom, they gave it to me. 30 minutes later, I was saying full sentences. 6 hours later, I was 100%.
I mean, lots of thoughts, brother. I mean, first of all, Walter Geer, Chief Creative Officer, VML, eerily, when I think about your trajectory, a lot of healthcare work, and here we are in a moment, right? Where healthcare gets a bad rap, but there's a lot of brilliant people out there. And the second thing I learned, this is from writing my book, I interviewed an ER doctor, and he's like, at all costs, avoid 2 a.m. cowboy medicine. Go the next morning if you can. You didn't have that luxury.
Yeah.
And so this entourage basically came together and gave you the assets you needed to make a call. And
Yeah.
And then to your point, it's like a surgeon who gets in a car accident and can't use his hands anymore or her hands, right?
Yeah.
Like you're a communicator. That's what we do is
Yeah.
help companies see more clearly or leaders see more clearly. And so
Yeah.
I can only imagine the flurry in your brain and wow. So
Yeah,
in
dude.
30 minutes, Walter Geer is back.
It's fucking crazy. It was crazy, dude. I gotta tell you, man. It's like, and it's weird because so the root of the cause was that I had something called a PFO, and here's what's really fucking wild, man. So before a child is born, right, you have a flap in between your right and left side of your heart, and that flap is open. Now, when a child is born and you have your first breath, that flap closes, and it's like Velcro, right, and it sticks together. 1 in 4 people, 25% of the entire planet's population, it does not close, right? That Velcro doesn't stick. So that happened to me. So what happens is when you have, particles or things in your body that your body naturally produces, plaque, it goes up into the right side of your heart. When it gets into the right side of your heart, it basically pumps down to your liver, and then it cleans it and you're good, no problem. But now when that flap is open, that flap will open and close when you do something called valsalve. Valsalve is basically when you strain, right? You pick up your bag, your laptop, anything heavy, kid, it opens up, lift, it opens up, right? And so that week, I was like doing two a day workouts in the gym, boom, 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 right? So it was opening and closing a ton. And so that particle then goes up, slips through, and that's like it's like going through a needle, right? So it's not like a super easy thing to do. So that particle slipped through, got to the left side of the heart, and the left side of the heart pumps blood to your brain. So it goes up there, got up there, clogged something, caused a stroke, right? So 1 in 4 people are walking around with this and will never know until the day that they have a massive heart attack or stroke. That's fucking scary. And majority of the time that happens is typically people 55 and under.
Wow. I'm thinking about what I think I know about you, and call me on or off on this too, right? Like where there's pain, you show up.
Yeah.
You're not afraid to be there and to be a voice. And so and again, I'm thinking about, I think I read 2 years ago, it was Black Madison Avenue. You're like, how can there only be 7 of us? This seems this seems wrong. Right. And I know we're making progress there, but there's pain there, and you're bringing your voice, and we got some cool shit to share on that, hopefully a little bit in the show. But now, this is sort of this unexpected. I mean, first of all, I don't know why you're doing 2 a days. What's that all about?
Trying to get back in shape, man. I'm trying to get that high school body back.
You turning 50 or something? What caused the 2 a days? I want to know.
Look, man, I was gym and I'm back on it now, right? So in the mornings I go to the gym, right? And I do like 4 reps, of like low weights type of stuff, right? Of chest, back, spine, try, all that type of stuff, right? And then I hit the treadmill for about 20-30 minutes. And then in the evenings, I'll go back and I'll go back and do like a Peloton ride for about like 20 or 30 minutes. So I'm like just trying to really double up on the cardio.
Well, I mean, where I was going with this obviously was this: you have a stroke, and now I'm not suggesting it's another thing that gets Walt's time, but that there's pain there, right? And like you said, 25% of us we're ticking time bombs and we don't
Yeah,
even
basically.
know. So how do you now prioritize your time? And I know you're like me too, and sometimes it takes kids to be like, oh my God, nothing is more important than the example I set for my children. And if they want to live a courageous life, there's plenty of assets that they can look at now, right? So between family, between your work, between Blackweek, which I'd love to talk about, between your stroke, there's a pie chart of your time. What's the percentage breakdown?
That's tough, man. I mean, here's the thing. Like we all, when you become a certain level at work, like you work a lot, right? And the more senior you are, the more time you dedicate. Up until that stroke, man, like literally, like I was probably doing 18, 19-hour days. Like I'm waking up at 7 a.m. I'm working until like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., doing some family time for dinner, putting the kids to bed, and then I'm back here 9 o'clock, 9:30, and then I'm staying online and I'm doing chats with, people on my team until 3 a.m. and going to sleep and doing the same thing again. Like literally, every fucking day I was doing that for about like 3 months straight. And so for me, I think I killed that. Like I'm not working evenings anymore. I think it's so important to get your rest, man. And like we don't understand really like how effective proper sleep is and how necessary it is. I mean, literally will kill you if you don't get enough of it. And then just trying to be more present in the work that I do too, and the type of work that I do too, man. I'm doing some really dope shit I can't talk about right now for like Alzheimer's, where like I'm solving like a massive fucking problem for people who have early onset of Alzheimer's, and kind of just continuing just the charge, man. Like Black Week, trying to make waves and opportunity there. When I look at things, if I'm lucky, man, I have like 15 to 20 years left of this shit, right? In this field. And so I'm just trying to do as much damage as possible while I'm here, man, while I can.
Is it funny that you've come to the realization that a third of that time you should be sleeping? It reminds me of Ariana Huffington's book, The Sleep Revolution, which you should check out if you haven't had a chance to read it. And I struggle with this too, and I chalk it up to, well, I'm not working in this house. Nobody's working, right? Like, as the entrepreneur, and I've got 2 kids to put through college, and I love what I do, just like you love what you do. But I certainly suffer from I work, I have dinner with my kids, my wife, and then I'm like, they go to sleep, and like last night I fell asleep with the laptop on. I'm like, I'm that guy. And so I feel like I could be better on the sleep thing as well. But
It's
like you
hard,
said,
dude. It's
short
hard.
time on this planet, right? Like, you want to make an impact, you want to make a dent.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, dude. And what's harder for me too is, for me, the most creative time of the day for me is like 1 a.m. Like that's just when I'm the most creative. Like that's when my shit goes. I could do everything. I'll wait the last minute and knock shit out at 1 a.m. But like, so that's been hard to try to like, how do I repivot and recalculate and be creative during the day? And like, I definitely have like ADHD, dude. So like my focus is just fucking during the day when I got emails and all this shit. It's super hard.
So I mentioned Black Week a few times. It's
Mhm.
coming.
Yes.
October's coming. We're getting close here. Like, can you give me the backstory on like how it came to be? And they're like, oh shit, it's not only is it real, like the lineup looks amazing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
let's start with the germ of the idea.
Yes, I mean, that was a really interesting thing, man. Oftentimes you look at a lot of these stages and a lot of these conferences that are out there, and most of the times they aren't built with the people. They are built with telling our stories, but the people who are telling the stories aren't necessarily us, right? And then when I talk about us, like black and brown people, like people that are really in the weeds of the work and so on and so forth, And so, truth be said, Joe Anthony, man, a good friend of mine, CEO of Hero Collective, hits me up, and the rest of the folks, Monique and Andre and Adan and Gabrielle and Dabo, and he was like, "Yo, we should make something, man. Like now is the time we should make something." We're like, "What? Like let's just do a conference." And then so we got together and we talked about what it could be. And Joe was like, "We should call it Blackweek," and we were like, "Damn, that shit is aggressive." And like, and so like, it was kind of like a yeah, we'll see. And I'll be honest with you, man. Joe hits us all up in text, and he's like, "Yo, I got a studio. We're gonna shoot this in 2 weeks," and we're all like, "What?" And he's
I
like,
love
"Let's
it,
just
dude.
let's just see how it goes." And so we
This is
worked on
when? This is how long ago?
this was gosh, oh my gosh, I don't even last summer, maybe August, September-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, about almost a year ago, exactly. I mean, yeah, maybe like 10, 11 months ago, we started on this. No, I take that back. It was last September because it was starting to get a little bit chilly, a little cool out. And yeah, so we were just like we worked on scripts, man, and we went to the studio in Long Island City, and we shot the content, and then his team edited it, and then we just saw it and we were like, holy shit, this is it. This is we got to do something. And so we tested the water by like I went out and I just did the post online of that video, just like a 30-second clip of like Black Week, and was like, well, let's see how people, react. And the shit just instantly just blew up. And 2 weeks later we started setting up our weeklies and started to put together. So yeah, I mean it just happened so quickly like that, man. If it wasn't for Joe just pushing and being like, yo, let's do something. I got a director and a crew. Let's shoot something and see how it turns out. Then it wouldn't have come to fruition.
I mean, to me, this is the definition of courage, right? You know that there's a need. You feel that this is the time, and you're not just talking about it. You're taking action on it, and you're doing it. And it's really cool to see. Like Dahani Jones is my guy. I love Dahani to tears. Saw Jonathan Mildenhall's speaking. Aaron Walton, Shannon Sharp. The lineup is obviously is the white guy or the white dude. I'm like, is there a white dude talking? Is there one white dude? And I saw Gary V's talking.
Got Gary Vee in there. We got a whole bunch of people. Ross Martin is in there.
But no, I'm curious, like in your mind, is the intent, like when you think about the goals,
Mhm.
do you envision Black Week impacting like the Black creative community or the broader advertising industry, or is it just full stop
all of
industry?
that. All of that industry. It's the industry as a whole. I mean, like, most people are familiar with Davos, right? And so like this is like the Black Davos, man. Like this is like an economic forum meant to inspire, educate, and uplift individuals in the space, and really kind of lean into the importance, excuse me, of our voices, right? Of our buying power, right? But this is not like a space where it's meant to just be like a bunch of Black folks. This is for everyone and their mother to be there, right? Every race, every whatever sexual preference you are, everybody, right? While a majority of the people that are on stages are leaders, executives, CEOs from agencies, brands, CMOs, etc., we thought that for the first time around that was important because we want leaders sharing their stories and how they created their diverse teams and the impact it's made and the dollars and all that for other executives in the room to listen, right, and understand and be able to, for a first time, see the effectiveness of what this looks like across a broad spectrum of different businesses and understand this person's approach as to as opposed to this person. But we also want junior people to be in the room as well because they should be inspired by these leaders, right? So the intent is to have everyone there, like folks with like less than 5 years experience or partnering with Creative Ladders, the one show to or one club, excuse me, to bring junior folks in. We just did a post today where we're trying to drive in 50. We're giving 50 free passes to individuals that are unemployed, right? Because we know, God knows, it's so hard, right, to actually attend these events, even when you are employed someplace, let alone unemployed. And then for everyone that submits to that, they have to submit a resume. And then we're also sharing all those resumes with all of our sponsors for 2024. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a vibe. And I think that right now with the conversation and the shit about like DEI hires and all this stuff, and the way that all these different states, Texas, Florida, are kind of moving against DEI, this is a moment where we can all really kind of stand together to create some more type of impact that creates change.
Change to me has always been a funny thing. And if I really think about what success looks like, I'm curious to get your take. I'm just playing this out in my head. What's really cool, Walt, is since I've known you, I mean, the reason we even met was because you were trying to make change. You were
Mhm.
posting on social. I'm like, hey, I don't know you. You don't know me. I'm in
Mhm.
the courage business. You're living it. Can we get on a call? And like, think about how long ago that was. It was
Oh
probably
yeah, man. Oh yeah.
7 years ago. But change. Like, I like hearing like the next generation is going to be there too. It's change for us. For the next generation or the generation after them, it'll just become. It just is. Hopefully, it just is. So it'll be very cool to see a decade from now what Blackweek is like. What are we talking about? What are we doing? Is it an opportunity? And I'm sure you're doing this for this event. I'm curious. Is there an opportunity to invest in ideas there? Like, are you doing like a Shark Tank version?
Yeah, so we have a brand. I don't want to get into too much detail because we're not confirmed yet, but we have a pretty large brand who's going to be doing a Shark Tank experience for ideas and trying to invest in different folks, businesses. You know, year one is kind of like this is like it's 2.5 million between 7 people, right? So we're just trying to break even right now and do good. I think year two, the intent is okay. Now, how do we actually give back in terms of like direct revenue, right? And so or investments in the Black and brown community. So that will be, doing things like how do we get more senior Black and brown leadership in some of these companies? How do we create quiet, meeting sessions between, mid-level VP, CD level creatives to get them into those ECD and CCO positions, right? How do we actually ensure that, different up and coming companies, right? Startups are getting investment from VCs, banks, et cetera. Like, so we're trying to go back and say, what if we can make an impact that equals $5 million for the following year? Like, what does that look like? And how do we get back by way of salaries, by way of investments into companies, et cetera? And then we'll start to grow from there. But right now, this one is about let's kind of just, put a stamp in the ground, so to speak, a flag in the ground, so to speak, and get folks to come out and start to take this serious as a real event. And then we'll see where we go from here.
I mean, I'm assuming people are taking it serious. I don't see this,
Yeah.
not going.
Yeah. You know what it is though too? It's like I'll be honest and speaking out loud. It's like getting sponsors is I've never done this. None of us have ever done this before. It's not an easy thing. So a lot of time, it's like brands will go after the tried and true thing, right? Right. The folks that have been doing this every single year. You have your Adweeks and you have your ad colors and folks. Yeah, this is easy. They've been doing it for a while, right? We know this is successful. When you're the new guy on the block, it's like, oh, okay, well, we won't give you like a million. Maybe we give you like 250, then we'll see how it goes, and then we'll come back and think about that million for the following year. So it's interesting, man. It's interesting. We have a lot of people that are like talking it up and a lot of people that are believing in it. But I think there's a small handful of people that are also like, I just want to see how this works out this year. But better news is, man, we're super close to breaking even right now. And so we're gonna get that's all we wanted, man. This isn't about like, hey, let's get rich, let's try to get money. This is about, like, if we're going to make some type of change and we talk about making change, like, how are we going to do it? And we think that this is the opportunity and the way to do it.
It's all about impact, and it does beg the question when you think about your wife and 100 days ago. Where is she like, nah, this is a non-negotiable for Walt, like, versus you got to take care of yourself. And so, like, what
Yeah.
conversations do you guys have, if you don't mind me asking, on where you shoot for the moon and where you like, okay, but take care of Walt and our family first?
Yeah. I think it was a scary moment for all of us. Right. And in the midst of the moment, and, like 5 weeks later, I had heart surgery. And then like 2 days after being out of heart surgery, I had like pericarditis, which is inflammation of the heart because they think that they nicked my heart. And I was back in the ER for like 4 days after that. And so like, times in the hospital, she and my family were all like, because at the time, you got to imagine everyone was like, this is stress induced. Right. And so it was like, yo, your fucking job, this is too much. You're working too much. You got to slow down. Like, this shit doesn't matter. All this shit around us doesn't matter. Like, you could work at fucking Target, but like, it's just about, family and health first. And it was definitely a scary moment for me too. Well, you know, you got that part in your back of your head as a man and as a father and a husband. You're like, dude, I gotta fucking make as much money as possible. I gotta pay these bills. Like, there's a different level of stress for a man, I think, right? Because it's like we're seated as like, hey, the protector and the comforter and the, you know, all this stuff. So like, part of you is like, yeah, but yeah, and right. But I think, yeah, her biggest thing was like, you got to slow down, dude. Because like she was seeing it and like literally up until the day before, like I'm talking to her about my projects and I'm like, yo, I'm so fucking stressed out right now. And so, yeah, her thing is slow down, but she's also like, she's also not the type that's going to be like, yo, you got to do this or else, right? She's like, yo, I've told you, like, you can make the decision you want to make, but like the way I feel is you got to take it easy and you can't fucking kill yourself over this shit.
It's funny. I'm thinking about myself and my identity, and I the prioritization in my it's like the unspoken conversation until this conversation. I do think as a man, I start with the responsibility that I have
Mhm.
to take care of my sphere, right? Like I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever really written it down this way, but like the comment of like go 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 make money, create the pathway for the next generation to go to school or go do what they love or actually have a choice. That's really what
Yeah.
it is.
Mhm.
Choices,
Yeah.
right? And my wife, who I like give a lot of credit to, she's coming out of her rebirth. She went back to school to be a therapist, and you know we made the choice over the last 12 years that she was going to stay home and raise the kids until now. I'm super proud of her on like the path that she's on. And I think it was courageous of her in her
Yeah.
own way to go back to school.
Of
And
course.
then I think of courage. And I love stories still. I love courageous stories. I love people that aren't afraid of going after it. And
Mhm.
I'm curious when you think about all the things that matter to you, ideas have to still matter to you, right? So like is it still a love story?
Yeah, I mean the work, the business, you're saying in
The work.
general?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude, I love what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like I love what I do. I got back and like, you know, my wife knows she's friends with my boss, you know, Kalita, and you know, they're both like Kalita's like, I'm not giving you too much work because, you know, nah, you know, like they're both on the same page, like, nah, you gotta fucking slow it down. And so like I'm like, no, like, let me get on this project. She's like, nah, nope, nope, nope. You know, nah, don't let me get on your wife and tell your wife, you know, so like it's been funny, but I think that you know, nah, I mean, the love of what I do, because I know like advertising is the one thing that can change the world, man. There's like nothing else that moves the needle like advertising. All right. We pick up on cues and we pick up on, you know, cultural nuances and moments and we fucking embellish them and blow them out into these things. And, you know, it's powerful. Like I'd say the advertising community has one of the most powerful voices, platforms, opportunities in the world. So it'll never stop. If anything, I think this moment has just made me care more about just the level and quality of work that I do and ensuring that I'm actually really making an impact on the shit that I'm actually putting out into the world. But you know, here's the thing too, like when you're in these moments, you also realize that like, you know, like I'm not the fucking best at everything that I do. I'm not the best fucking dad. I'm not the best fucking husband. And I think we can get caught up in these moments of swearing that we are or swearing that we're present when we're really not because you know because it's just work happens. So I think that I've kind of come to the realization that like you know how can I be less of a dick to
Totally.
people, to my wife, to my daughter, to my friends, to my family, and it's hard, dude. And sometimes you catch yourself kind of backslipping, you know, you try to do the best you can with what you have and the moment that you have. And, you know, I'm trying not to slow down where I can, but in other areas, trying to put my phone down when I can, which is hard.
I acknowledge that when I think of so you know I grew up in that game in the city and had all my crazy Mad Men mentors and to be fair, people I feared. There's a lot of people I feared growing up in the business as a 20 somethings. And then to come out here and you put your head down and you want to be something, you want to be relevant. Like I remember that feeling.
Oh yeah.
And then there was a moment where I remembered having like, oh my gosh, like the game has changed. Like from my perspective, I'm curious because you're still in it. I feel like the gone are the days where you can be super talented and a dick. Like You have to
And
you have to be talented and likable. There's too many choices now. Is that how you see it too?
oh yeah, absolutely. That's the stuff. It just doesn't fly anymore. I mean, there are days when like, you'd have a CCO would like throw a book at you and you have to swallow it and walk out the fucking office and go do the work that they asked you to do. I mean, that shit doesn't fly anymore. It's just like the same way consumers think about brands, right? Like every brand wants to be purpose driven. The reason why they want to be purpose driven is because people care about not only the product that they're buying, but like what else are you doing to make an impact on the world and the community and make it a better place? And because we have that mind state, we're carrying that into the places where we work right now. And it's like, I want to work for someone who understands the importance of my values, my time, my being able to, be with my family. Like, dude, like I'll be honest with you, like I have always said that I work way better with managers or bosses that have families. Right. And I'm way more likely to take a job with someone who has a family because I've worked with single dudes before and it's like, dude, they expect you to be on 24/7 the whole
It's
day.
not their fault. It's not their fault, right? But they don't know.
We expect more, right? This generation coming up now is fucking different, man. They'll tell you in a heartbeat what they like and what they don't like. And I think that is the generation that is going to change this planet, man, for better. I do believe that.
You think the talent in advertising is getting better? You think it's the same, or you think we're going the wrong way?
No, I don't know that the talent has gotten any better. I think that our access to tools to get things done better, faster, and higher quality has changed. And like always, right? Like we've always, now everyone's like, oh, you got to learn AI, you got to learn AI, you got to learn these tools. But like, it's always been like that, right? Like there was a time where everyone's like, Flash, you got to learn Flash. You don't get no Flash, you're out. And then Google's like, fuck Flash, we're out of here. We're not letting it in our browser. Flash died. And the next thing is like DHTML. You got to then all this stuff, right? And it's like responsive ads and responsive sites. And then it was like app development. You got to know. So like, it's always going to be a new thing. That's never going to change. I think what's important is, being able to tap into creators who understand the importance of continuing to learn. And even like when you get to the senior level, you just can't, I don't have time to be learning everything. I just don't, right? So it's like the expectation is that I have people on my team who are those individuals who have their ear close to the ground and are looking into everything that is happening.
All right, we're coming down the home stretch here, and I have this was not a premeditated question, but I'm curious to hear your answer. I think it's important that I say that.
A size 11 and a half, Jordan 1, if you're looking.
That's not the question. Well, all right, let's say I've been looking at one of the exercises I do. I have a coaching program. I'm not looking to promote it. It takes up too much of my time. But if I can help somebody, why wouldn't I help somebody? So there are times where I'll put somebody through the program, and one of the exercises that I have them do is I have them write 2 letters. I have them write a letter from who they are today to the 21-year-old version of themselves. And then I have them write only after that letter, deathbed version of you to you today. And if you were deathbed version of Walt to you today, and you could decide, is it Walt 30 years from now, 40 years from now? Were you frozen in ice? Like, who knows? What do you want to choose? But tell me what you think is in that letter. And it's not to your daughter, it's to you. It's to you today. What's in that letter?
It'll probably be don't fucking stop, disrupt everything. Right? Because I'll tell you, and I say that to you because like this shit also gets scary, because like I say things that will put my job on the line. I say things that put my family in harm's way. There's fucking crazy people on social media, right? Especially now in the times that we're in right now. So there's times absolutely I feel like kind of holding back. Same thing with the work, right? Like to do incredible work, you also have to be fearless, right? And fearless means you have to do a multitude of things to get the job done, right? And so that's kind of what I would probably say, man. That's like because again, change doesn't happen without some or a lot of fear, without some or a lot of hesitation, right? I mean, without some or a lot of stress. Like it's par for the course.
Man, stay you. Stay you. Keep doing what you're doing. All love from the West Coast, man. How do you want to wrap? How do you want to wrap today?
I mean, look, it's always a pleasure chatting with you, man. And dude, you're like the Barry White of fucking podcast, man. You got the smooth tone and smooth vibe going on, man. I appreciate you. But look, man, my whole thing is, I just end by saying, like, for everyone out there, like, do the shit you love, man, because if you died today, your job would be gone before your obituary. It's this thing I always say, do that, man. And remember that, man, nothing is ever fucking promised. Nothing is ever promised.
Creative talent, strategic talent. Now you're making stuff. We got Blackweek coming in October. Where can people go to learn more about the conference or the event?
Yeah, absolutely. Just go to blackweek.co and you'll be able to see everything there, man. Or if you follow Blackweek on all one word on social platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc., you'll be able to find out everything that's going on.
Here's the deal: when you find yourself in Southern California next, you better let me know.
I got you, man. I got you. Absolutely. I haven't been out there in a bit, but yes, I got you.
All right, be good, Walt. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Courageous Podcast. If you enjoy the show, don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts so more people can find us. See you again next week.